Welcome, everyone. Good day to all of you. Uh, Today's presentation is going to be STEM Safari, navigating your path to the perfect major. But before we get started with the presentation, I'd like to do brief introductions. So I'll start with myself. My name is Marco Chavez, and I'm the Director of Global Admissions Operations with Shorelight Education. I'm going to talk to you today regarding the University of the Pacific, Gonzaga University, and University of Utah. I'm joined by a couple of my colleagues. Laura.
Welcome, everyone. We're so glad that you could join us today. My name is Laura McElrath. I am the Director of Campus Admissions at the University of Dayton. Dayton is also in Ohio. We're so glad you could join us today.
And I'm also joined by my colleague, Alex.
Hi, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm the Managing Director of Western New England University in Springfield, Massachusetts, and I'm really excited to tell you about our school and our offerings. So thank you so much, Marco, for having us here.
Thank you both. So let me first give you a brief overview of education in the United States. So as I'm talking, if you wouldn't mind typing into the chat, what comes to mind when you think of studying in the United States? So what comes to mind when you think of studying in the United States? If you wouldn't mind just typing that into the chat. And let me give you some benefits of studying in the United States while you're doing that. One of those benefits is that universities are leaders in creating knowledge. So a lot of universities in the United States are research universities. And so research means that we're constantly creating knowledge in all sorts of different fields, from the humanities to the sciences to engineering, whatever it might be. We have a lot of research institutions in the United States. And these research opportunities are not just for professors. They are for graduate students, postgraduate students, but also undergraduate students. So we have all of these opportunities available for all students. Also, we have universities that create opportunities. So we tap into the faculty knowledge. We tap into that faculty research. You have an opportunity at U.S. universities for student organizations, career services, and also worldwide recognition. So that's another benefit of studying in the United States, that you not only will have opportunities inside the classroom, you'll have a lot of opportunities outside of the classroom to enhance your CV, to enhance yourself as well, your leadership skills and other skills that will make you more marketable for after you graduate. Also, universities in the United States have options that are diverse for every student. So, for example, we have options in the Pacific Northwest with Gonzaga University, down south to California with the UOP, in the Southeast with FIU, to the Midwest and Dayton, to the Northeast at Western New England, and everywhere in between. So you'll have that diversity of geography as well, whether you want to study at a university that is next to a mountain or next to a large city, or next to local industry, you'll have those options in the United States, and specifically with Shorelight education companies. And another great benefit of studying in the United States is that you'll have flexibility. So flexibility specifically in the curriculum. So those are some great opportunities that are available at U.S. universities. And so let me get more into details of what I mean about flexible curriculum. But before I do that, why don't you put into the chat what you want to study? What majors do you think you want to study when you come into the United States? And someone else also put as a benefit technological advancement. That is very true. Our universities are constantly reinvesting in our students and on our campuses. So when you walk through the hallway, so to speak, of our campuses, you're going to see some construction perhaps. And that's because we want to constantly update our facilities, the technology that we offer our students, our labs. So very true. That is another benefit. But go ahead and put into the chat what majors you might be interested in studying. So specifically or typically, when you're thinking about USA institutions, you will have many, many options in regards to studying what you're interested in. So what I mean by that is that you might say, well, I want to study something to do with computers. Great. And within that, you're going to have many options from data science to electrical engineering to computer science, business analytics. So it's within one specific field, you're going to have a lot of options. And we're going to get into some of those later on when we specifically talk about our campuses and the majors on our campuses. Okay, so today's presentation had the word STEM in it, right? And so I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what STEM is, but first let me tell you about the flexibility in the curriculum at U.S. institutions. So U.S. institutions tend to have what is called a liberal arts foundation. And that means that no matter what you're studying, you're going to have the opportunity to take general liberal arts classes and classes from other fields. So you might be studying, for example, engineering. Name the engineering field, it doesn't matter. You're going to have the ability to take classes from other fields, from the arts, from the humanities. Again, this is what a liberal arts foundation means. We want you to be a well-rounded student, not just in your chosen field, but in general, in other fields as well. And so majors will allow you to choose. You'll have the option to choose a major or majors that can be related to your original major, so you can add other majors to your main course of study, or not. It's really up to you. And then you can add minors as well. Minors are a subspecialization, and you can, as an undergraduate student, you can have any minor regardless of what your major is. So let me give you an example. Let's say you want to come to the US and you really, really want to focus on the health sciences, but you also have an interest in languages. So an example could be your main major is health sciences, but your minor is Kazakh, for example, or your minor is Spanish or Latin. That's actually a great combination because medical terms have Latin roots in them. So you can do that, and they don't need to be related as well. So keep that in mind, that we have curricular flexibility in the United States. And I already mentioned some of those co-curricular opportunities as well, where you can participate in research. You might be able, as a graduate student, for example, to teach a class. You'll definitely have the opportunity to enjoy organizations on campus and get leadership skills. You'll have an opportunity to enjoy life off campus as well and see what the United States is like, and maybe apply that to your major in some sort. So you'll have a lot of those options as well with the USA education. Okay, now let me get into what exactly STEM is. What is it, and how does it fit into your education? So, but before I do that, do any of you know what STEM means, or have an idea what it could be? And go ahead, if you do, go ahead and type it into the chat, and we'll see. Okay, while you're doing that, I'll tell you what it is. It's STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and math. So how does this fit in? Why is there a focus on this term? Why not, for example, HEART, which could mean humanities, education, art, romance, languages, and tourism? And the reason for that is because STEM fields tend to be in high demand, and there is a scarcity of qualified applicants coming from these fields. So again, high demand, meaning that industry, the world has a high demand for students coming from that study in the STEM fields, but there are not a lot of students going into these fields. So that's why there's a big focus on these fields currently. Now, I want to ask you, no need to type it into the chat, but what comes to mind when you think of science? So that's the first part of STEM. That's the S. What comes to mind when you think of science? Is it microscopes? Is it labs? How about when you think of technology? Is it your iPhone, your Android phone? Is it AI? Is it self-driving cars? What is technology to you? Or what comes to mind when you think of engineering? In addition to the typical engineering fields like mechanical, industrial, there are other engineering fields that exist that aren't widely discussed, like welding engineering, ceramics engineering, materials engineering. How about math? What comes to mind when you think of math? Calculus, trigonometry, addition, subtraction, right? But really, these four fields, so the orange there, science, really, it's natural, physical, life sciences. Those are some examples of what we mean by the S in STEM, science fields. Technology would be computers, electronics, modern technology. So things I mentioned like AI, self-driving cars, anything really that has to where there's a blend of computers, electronics, and the modern world. Engineering fields pretty self-explanatory. And math, again, mathematical principles. So that's really what STEM is. Now, again, why do we focus on STEM? I want to repeat this because it's very important. It's because it's in high demand and there's a scarcity of applicants going into these fields. So we want to encourage more students, if you're interested in these fields, to go into them. Now, there's a benefit to them when you come studying in the United States in a designated STEM field. So the US government, when they classify majors, different programs of study, they classify them as either STEM majors or non-STEM majors. And so all students, regardless of what you study what you come studying in the United States, you have the option of participating in optional practical training. It's kind of like an internship after you graduate. And all students have the option of participating in optional practical training for 1 year. However, if you're in a designated STEM field, you have the option of participating for 2 years. So if you come to the United States and you're studying, let's say, languages, you have the option of participating in optional practical training, again, like an internship for 1 year. But if you're in mechanical engineering, let's say, that option extends to 2 years. So that's an added benefit of studying in a STEM major in the United States. I'm now going to transition to talking about our different universities and the benefits of studying at our different universities. But before I do that, I do want to take a 10-second pause and give you an opportunity to type any questions into the Q&A. I know my colleagues are monitoring the Q&A. And so if you have any questions, go ahead and put them there, or if you have any comments, go ahead and put them into the chat function. Again, I'll give you just a few seconds to do that. Okay, great. Now, the first university that I want to focus on is University of the Pacific. Now, the University of the Pacific is located in Northern California, one near Silicon Valley and one in Northern California. And so our students, based on our location, have a great opportunity to interact with the industry located in Northern California. Again, Silicon Valley, a lot of technology companies. And so one of the majors that we highlight is data science. And so did you know that the average salary for a data scientist in the San Francisco area is $178,000 per year? Yes, that is a lot of money you're talking about there, right? Also, we have a lot of unique degree options with high job placement potential. And so majors that encourage creativity and that address tomorrow's challenges, like media X, where the arts and technology intersect in the world of traditional digital emerging media, or biomedical engineering, which can open up careers in medical research. So these are some of the special majors that we offer. We call it UOP, University of the Pacific. And then there are also co-ops and internships for engineering majors. So engineering students participate in distinguished cooperative education, we call them co-ops, where they can gain insight into industry, and you would get paid for these experiences as well. And they're built into your curriculum so that they are part of the classes that you take, so to speak, but really it's a paid experience for you. And of course, we're recognized around the world in a lot of our different programs. So I'll just let you take a look there at number 4 at the different recognition that is bestowed upon us. We have a brand new major. It's at the undergraduate level as well. It's data science that's coming this fall. And so keep an eye out for that if you are interested in studying data science as an undergraduate student. The next university I want to highlight is Gonzaga University. It's a little bit farther north in California. So from California, if you travel north, you'll go through the state of Oregon and then into the state of Washington. Gonzaga is in Spokane, Washington, which is in eastern Washington. And as you might know, Washington is also a hub for technology and tech companies like Amazon, Boeing, Microsoft, Starbucks, Seattle's Best Coffee, which I think is better than Starbucks. But anyway, a lot of companies as well. And so you also have these opportunities in the area for real practical experience. And we have top ranked degree options with high job placement potential as well. We have 19 undergraduate STEM degrees, also engineering, computer science, health sciences, physics, mathematics. We're recognized as well. We're number 3 for undergraduate engineering and 15 specifically for civil engineering, in the top 30 for mechanical engineering. We have a great facility in the Bollier Center for Integrated Science and Engineering. This is a large facility that takes STEM education to a new level of engagement in real world preparation. So you'll be able to study things from climate change and public research to biochemistry, psychology, and electronics labs. And so what this space allows you to do is kind of take the intersection of different fields and see how they apply to the real world. We have Career Trek program where students visit and make connections with top companies. Again, some of those companies I already mentioned. And so you'll have those opportunities to make connections for possible job placement opportunities. You have a brand new venture lab, which connects aspiring entrepreneurs, data scientists, and analysts with local business startups for projects such as business plans, targeted research, and analysis as well. So a lot of great opportunities in the Pacific Northwest for you. The next university I want to highlight is University of Utah. So Utah is a state so again, you have California all the way on the West Coast, then you have Washington in the top northwest corner of the lower 48 states. And then if you go a little bit to the east, a couple of states, that's where Utah is. In the picture, you'll see a picture of the mountains there in the background. Those are the Rocky Mountains. So it's on the west side of the Rocky Mountains. So that's where Utah is located. And we nickname it Silicon Slopes because of the region's booming tech industry. So there are companies located in the area like Adobe, Ancestry.com, Arctic Wolf, or Overstock, and a lot of other companies. Utah is also highly ranked in computing and engineering programs. We have world-leading game design programs. So we're actually number 3 in the United States and the number 1 public institution in the United States for games and simulation development. Utah Games graduates have gone on to work with world-renowned companies like Nintendo, Epic, EA, Disney, DreamWorks. So also a lot of great placement from the University of Utah. And we also focus on entrepreneurship and startups. So the university is ranked among the top 10 universities for entrepreneurship by US News and World Report and the Princeton Review. And so at the Lasanda Entrepreneur Institute, you can choose to live, create, work, or launch business from the Institute. And so we'll help you with all of that. We'll help you with your ideas to get them off the ground and launch them into the world. And we'll support you through that. And you can also obtain internships through the Crimson Projects, which offers opportunities in data analytics, data research, software design and development, and project management. So again, a lot of great opportunities at these institutions. I'm going to turn it over to my colleague, Laura, who will continue talking about all of these great opportunities at some of our other partners.
Hello again, everyone. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the University of Dayton. So this first slide here highlights, where is the University of Dayton? You may not have heard of Dayton, Ohio. It is in the Midwest part of the United States. So you can see here on the map, we're located about an hour-and-a-half flight, maybe a 5-hour drive away from Chicago, maybe a city you're more familiar with, and just a short 2-hour flight to New York City. Some things to know about the Midwest part of the country. Number one, it's a very low cost of living, relatively speaking, and it's known for being very friendly. So we like to say Midwest nice. So especially at the University of Dayton, you will be welcomed and feel right at home. It will be your new backyard. So for a little bit more detail about the University of Dayton, it's considered a medium-sized university. We have just under 12,000 students altogether. So that includes undergraduate, graduate, doctoral, and law students. You can see here from the slide, it is a suburban campus. It is about 423 acres, very walkable. In fact, I enjoy walking around campus. You'll often see me at lunchtime taking a stroll around campus. It's a very beautiful campus as well. It is a Catholic Marianist university. What does that mean? So it means that all students, all faith backgrounds, all ethnicities, wherever you're from, you are welcome at the University of Dayton. There's really a focus. One of the 3 tenets for the Marianists is a focus on community and the common good. So really just a welcoming, friendly community at the University of Dayton. UD is a suburban campus just outside of downtown Dayton, so maybe a 5-minute rideshare ride away, or less than 10-minute bus ride if you wanted to visit the city of Dayton, which is a medium-sized city of about 800,000, but a lot of opportunities for cultural events and other things happening inside Dayton, and it's just a very short ride into downtown. The university uses a semester-based academic calendar. So our main intakes are in the fall, of course, but we also offer a spring and also a summer intake as well. Dayton's ranking in the previous edition of Best Colleges is 127 in national universities. Dayton area is known as an innovation hub. What do we mean by that? Well, we have the Ohio Aerospace Hub. Because of our history of innovation, you may have heard it's home to the Wright brothers, the inventors of the first airplane. And ever since that time, there's been a tremendous history of innovation and happening in and around Dayton. And that continues today. The University of Dayton partners with GE at the aviation epicenter. So a lot of different jobs and opportunities and research opportunities for our students at the GE Aviation Epicenter, which is located right on campus. We also have the UD Research Institute, #1 in materials engineering research in the company. Our university is also ranked #32 in best value schools and top 50 in colleges that create futures. And how did we get that top 50 ranking? Because if you look at the next bullet point, we have a 98% success rate. So our undergraduate students, once they graduate, 98% are employed in their chosen field, or admitted to a graduate program if they choose, or involved in volunteer career-related volunteer programs within 6 months of graduating. So 98% success rate. And that enables us to be a college that creates futures for our students. We also have the Arcade Innovation Hub. This is a space for innovators, again, to launch and learn and lead. It's one of the largest university-anchored innovation spaces in the country, where you can work together with local companies in and around our area in Ohio. So get a lot of hands-on experience that will help make you more competitive when you graduate. So I wanted to just show very briefly some of the opportunities for STEM designated degrees at the University of Dayton. Lots of different opportunities, whether it's in the physical sciences, medical sciences, engineering, business programs, etc. There are STEM designated majors in every single area. So we have 32 undergraduate majors that are STEM designated and 16 graduate STEM designated majors to choose from. I wanted to really focus on a brand new program that we have that we're super excited about at the University of Dayton, and that is our new Business Analytics program. So it's a Bachelor's of Science degree in Business Analytics. Why are we so excited about this? Business Analytics is a tremendously growing field. So it's in high demand. They're projected to see over a 15% growth in companies looking to hire students with this degree. So it is a high demand career area. And honestly, we're hearing that employers just can't find employees, people with degrees in this field. So once you graduate, you're going to have a very high success rate of finding a job in this growing area. So a growing need nationally. It is, again, a STEM designated program, which will qualify you for a 2-year STEM OPT extension upon graduation. And another cool thing is you can graduate with your bachelor's degree in business analytics, get your 3 years of STEM or of OPT, and then come back to Dayton and join our Master's of Business Analytics program, and then get another 3-year OPT opportunity. So very exciting option for students. Some things that really set our Business Analytics program apart: you will participate in a capstone project. So you will gain hands-on experience in project management with a company, a Dayton area firm, during your capstone project, your final year of the program. So you're going to work with a team of people, you're going to work with clients, learn professional communication, organizational skills. All these things look amazing on your resume as you enter the job force. This will all put you on the road to success. You'll have, not only through the capstone project, your final semester, but throughout your program, you're going to have the opportunity to network with people, join internships and co-ops and other hands-on experience. Our majors have among the best placement rates in the School of Business. And our graduates are in high demand. So we're very excited. Please ask your educational counselor about business analytics. It's a growing field, very exciting. And I also wanted to mention University of Dayton's engineering program. So we have a lot of different engineering undergraduate degrees to choose from. And again, the hands-on experience. The University of Dayton really emphasizes this approach. 70% of our engineering students complete an internship or co-op. It's not required. Some of our domestic students want to finish in 3.5 years, and they choose not to participate. But if you want to get hands-on real life experience during your program, you will, our placement office will help place you and find you the right internship for you. In addition, these numbers down at the bottom of the slide, those aren't the salary after you graduate. This is the salary that you could earn while you're studying. So during your program, engineering students earn an average of $16,000 salary per semester when working in an internship. So this can help offset the costs of attendance a great deal, as well as give you great experience that you can take into your professional career. Again, there's a focus on community in all aspects at the university. You're going to be working with others. You're going to be collaborating with other teams, with other groups. Everyone is very supportive and helpful. We have amazing faculty who are committed to helping you to learn and be successful. We also have an Engineering the Innovation Center that's going to also help team you with companies in the community to help get this real world experience. So we'd encourage you, we'd love to answer any questions you might have about engineering or any of our other STEM programs at the University of Dayton.
That was very informative. Thank you so much, Laura. I'm now going to turn it over to my colleague, Alex, who's going to talk to you about Western New England University.
Thanks so much, Marco. Really excited to be here and talk to you all about our fabulous hidden gem, Western New England University in Springfield, Massachusetts. I'm sitting here about, my house is about 45 minutes from campus, and I'm just going to show you quickly. We're having a nice snowstorm right now, which is a really magical time for us. I grew up here, so very exciting for me. Marco, can I change the slides, or are you going to do that for me?
You should have control, Alex.
Let's see. There we go. Okay, great. So just a few things about our university. Massachusetts is in the Northeast in New England. You've probably heard of Boston, which is the capital of our Commonwealth. It's one of two Commonwealths in the United States. Boston is about an hour and a half. New York City is 3 hours south of us. We have Providence, Rhode Island, and also Hartford, Connecticut, which is a center of industry, especially accounting, finance. Several tech companies are there. I just want to point out a few key stats about Western New England. It's a really great value for the money. So The Economist, which is obviously a large and respected publication, puts it in the top 3% of best value colleges. I also want to point out that 98% of our students are employed within 6 months of graduation, which is just an astounding statistic. It's really rare to have that high of a rate of employment post-graduation. So your career prospects are really fantastic here at Western New England University. Advance the slides here. There we go. Just wanted to show a few of the places that our graduates end up working. Many of these are in STEM fields. You've got well-known brands like Lego, Coca-Cola company. We've got a lot of area industry. The New England Patriots are a football team, so some of our tech graduates go on and work for their engineering and infrastructure. Pfizer, obviously, which is a biotech company. So really good career prospects. I also want to mention that Western New England University has its roots at Northeastern University in Boston, which you may have heard of. So Northeastern University wanted to start a Western arm in Western Massachusetts of its university, and so founded Western New England University back in the 1920s. So it was part of Northeastern University. And so part of the culture of Western New England is that same culture of Northeastern, which is cooperative education, very similar to Dayton in terms of gaining on-job experience in the curriculum that you're learning. And that really helps reinforce the curriculum that you're learning if you're able to apply it in a real working situation. And with CPT, you are able to be compensated, that is paid for internships in various circumstances. So that's a really wonderful feature of our university. And I want to point out, obviously we have a full range of STEM offerings. I love that business analytics degree and totally agree with Laura that that is really a wonderful major to look at if you're interested in STEM, but you also have an inclination toward business, statistics, economics, forecasting, and there's AI involved in a lot of business analytics now, really wonderful tools that you can leverage in that field. So that's a really cool one. And thanks, Laura, for also highlighting the positives of that major. Obviously, we have a great computer science major and other things that you may not have thought of as part of a STEM offering. So construction management, this is a really popular major on our campus. This is for people who want to go out into the world, very similar to civil engineering, but with a real practical focus, so that you're thinking about managing construction jobs from small domestic projects to large scale urban design projects. So really exciting, cool, hands-on major at the undergrad and graduate levels. And another area you may not have thought of as a STEM area, we have a very strong pharmacy program at Western New England. We have a special program, the 06 program. That means you come in as an undergraduate and do 4 years to earn your undergraduate degree in pharmacy sciences, and you're automatically given admission to the PhD program, the doctorate in pharmacy, a PharmD. So this is a really great way if you want to focus your career on pharmacy and come out at the top of your field. Within 6 years, you can have a PharmD degree if you come in as an undergrad. That's a really special offering of our campus. And I'm just going to mention a couple of graduate degrees here quickly. We have a Master in Medical Sciences, which is a STEM qualified degree. We also have Master of Science in Pharmacogenomics. Let me say it again, pharmacogenomics, which is the area of pharmaceutical sciences. We're actually researching pharmaceutical therapies based on genetics. And so this is like, cutting edge stuff here. We also have on campus a quantum computing lab. If you're interested in that area of computer science, it's a highlight of our campus and part of a statewide initiative that we have. Very quickly, I'm just going to look at some of the tuition and costs. Very affordable degree. The tuition is about $42,000 a year. We have an $8,800 scholarship available for students. We also give something really unique, a $5,000 per year housing stipend for students who live on campus. So that's makes the housing situation here very affordable, and that can be a major cost for you while you're enrolled in school. And very quickly, just the graduate tuition. right now we do have a $1,200 scholarship available in the first year. We are going to be releasing some new, more generous scholarships in the near future. So keep an eye on that if you're interested in graduate study. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Alex. Also very informative. Kind of hearing about all these different institutions kind of makes me want to go back to school and get another degree. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today, for taking time out of your busy schedules to learn more about our great universities and the great STEM opportunities available at our institutions. I'm going to stay on for about another 30 seconds, but that does conclude our presentation today. I want to make sure you get all of your questions asked. And I've been informed that we actually have one more institution, Auburn, would like to present on their institution. So I'm going to turn it over to my colleague Choo Choo at the University of Auburn, also another great option. Choo Choo, I don't know if you have a slide deck, if you'd like to take control. Feel free to share your screen if you want to do that.
Absolutely. Where's my...
And sorry about that, Choo Choo.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Of course, I wasn't on the list, last minute addition, but I'm excited to be part of this deck. Let me just put the share screen. All right. Can you actually see my screen?
Yeah, you'll just want to go into presentation mode.
Okay. Well, good. You got it? All right. Well, good day, everybody. This is Choo Choo, and I'm checking in here from Auburn University. Of course, I'm going to talk briefly about Auburn Global and some of the STEM majors we do have here. I'll try and make this as brief as possible because I know you guys have questions and I'm excited to share. I'm the managing director at Auburn Global, and I was a student here 20 years ago, give or take, and I've been around here ever since. So I'm excited to share. All right, just by the numbers, of course, Auburn is a top 100 institution, and so one of our primary focuses is engineering. You can see we have a 20-to-1 student faculty member ratio, and of course, a few other things that we generally like to talk about. Geographically speaking, Auburn is in the southeastern part of the United States, about an hour and a half away from Atlanta, which is one of the biggest airports in the world. And of course, you can see other quaint destinations. Auburn University is a school with a mild climate, institution with a mild climate, and primarily speaking, students who come here come focused on their education in STEM disciplines. Excuse me. Things around Auburn are built with the student in mind. So we have shopping, housing, and restaurants all within walking distance of campus. The climate at Auburn is very mild and conducive for study for international students. You won't have things like the snowstorms that I believe Alex talked about in a place like this, for sure. But I'm going to kind of jump quickly and see if I can get to some of the disciplines we do have here. So bear with me. Now we have over 75 degrees in STEM, and of course, and I'll go through our colleges briefly without talking about every single one. And you can see in our College of Agriculture, we have a good number of disciplines here with STEM focus. Even in our College of Education, we have things like exercise science, we have nutrition in the College of Human Sciences, we have neuroscience in the College of Liberal Arts, and of course, we have one of our staples, and what we refer to as our peak of excellence, the College of Engineering. And of course, they do have a spread of disciplines that students can study. We also have our College of Science and Mathematics, which of course I am an alum of. I studied mathematics, and here are some of the degrees that are available for students that want to pursue an undergraduate degree at Auburn University. It goes without saying that in our College of Science and Mathematics, as well as the College of Engineering, we do have world-ranked faculty members, and we do have labs for students to partake in. A good amount of our students actually do participate in what I'll call internships. We have a couple in the College of Engineering and a couple of them in our College of Science and Mathematics, particularly in biosystems in the biology sector. For the graduate degrees, we do have a lot more STEM degrees, but the ones we have access to right now include those in the College of Engineering and even the Master of Community Planning, which one people generally won't identify as a STEM designated degree. The trivial ones are obviously the ones through the College of Science and Mathematics. So we have about, I'll say 10 or 12 degrees that are STEM designated for Auburn through the Auburn Global setup. Our College of Engineering is our second biggest college to business, and they have their own student services apparatus. Behind this building here, you see what we call the Brown Couple Student Achievement Center. We have a couple of our labs. Students who are in the College of Engineering partake in a lot of endeavors with NASA, and we have a few other companies which you'll see down in our student outcome profile. Auburn started something which we call first destination, which means they start to do an assessment on what happens to students after they graduate, essentially trying to justify the general cost of education. And Auburn found that, and this of course applies to our students too, that 80% of our students are hired by some of the top employers listed below. We have Amazon, Oracle, JP Hunt, Deloitte, Regions Bank, United Rentals, Lockheed Martin, to name a few. And of course, another 15% of our students essentially continue their education, which means they go and pursue a master's degree or PhD in whatever discipline they see fit. And this is just a brief summary of some of the things that do take place at Auburn here. So, of course, we have our part of the experience at the university is not only to get your education, but also to have some fun. And I won't click on any of these slides because there's a high chance that they might not even play. But of course, Auburn is well known for college football as well as basketball these days. Just to highlight a few things. Sorry. And of course, just to tie it off, we do have some notable alum. One of them who is Tim Cook, who is the CEO of Apple. I know I'm going a little bit too fast on this stuff for sure, but I'll wait on the other side just in case any of you have some questions, okay? Thank you very much for your time, and look forward to answering your questions.
And thank you, Chuchu, for presenting on Auburn. Also very informative. So again, I want to thank everyone for joining us today and taking time out of your busy schedules to be here with us. I'm just going to stay on for, again, 30 seconds or so to give you an opportunity to ask any minute questions should you have them. But if not, that does conclude our presentation for today. If you walk away with anything today, please walk away knowing that the universities and the options that we presented on equal opportunities for you to learn, to grow, to excel inside and outside of the classroom. And really, whichever opportunities you decide to go with, whether that's at Gonzaga or Dayton or Auburn or Western New England or University of the Pacific or Utah, they're going to be great options for you. Again, don't hesitate to inquire with your educational advisors which option might be the best fit for you. You're welcome to apply to multiple options as well. And so you have that opportunity too. Again, thank you all so much for being here with us and today. I wish you all a great day, a great evening, a good night.